Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today, getting back into off-season previews, got the Celtics today. Excited to talk about this one. They're a very interesting team, a lot of question marks, so if you guys enjoy, like, comment, and subscribe. Just comment the next team you'd like to see me do, and let's just get right into it. So, the Celtics were always going to have a pretty busy offseason, if you ask me. This is a team that is incredibly expensive, and when you are a luxury tax repeater or a apron repeater, if you stay over that second apron, you get multiplicative salary. So the salary just keeps going up. They have to pay like $500 million in salary this year. So that was before the Jason Tatum injury. After the Jason Tatum injury, I think it made it even easier to kind of say, this version of the team, we got a title. We gotta reload. We're gonna have to reload this roster and change it up. So let's just go down the roster. We got Jason Tatum up, 54.1 million, 5 years. Gonna miss maybe not the entirety of next season, but a vast majority of it. And you know, say what you want about Tatum, but he is incredibly important to this team, and they don't stand a chance of winning a title. I think they can pretty easily be like a 6 seed. Especially in the East, which is just a disaster, but obviously not going to have him. Maybe he comes back, but I don't think they're going to operate under the idea that he will. Got Jaylen Brown, 53.1, 4 years left. Got arthroscopic knee surgery today. Just, a surgery that's meant to like help clear up anything in your knee, and I don't really care about it. Jaylen Brown, to me, he's going to get a lot of opportunity to be the number one option next season. I don't think he's going to get traded. I don't think they want to break up the Jays. It's pretty clear that this is our core. This is our team. The rest of it can get shifted, but these two are going to stay. Next up, got Drew Holiday, 32.4 million, 3 years left. I saw some decline from Drew this year. He's obviously been at the top of the list for trades, right? This is a guy who's 35 years old or 34, 3 years left with a player option, 32 million a year. It's a big contract. He's already taken a step back. I do expect him to get traded. Kristaps Porzingis, what a disaster of a year he's had. Got sick with, people said AIDS. I don't know, but he's been bad, and this is the KP experience. It's always something with him. It's always something with Kristaps Porzingis. My back hurts, my knee hurts, I'm sick. There's always something with KP that prevents him from playing, and he's never reliable. So, is it any shock that he's already looking to get traded, and he's already worn out his welcome? Both of them, though, probably going to get traded. The issue is what team is going to want them, right? Well, when we talk about the trades I got for them, it was not easy. After that, you got Derek White. He's someone who's been floated in trade talks. There's been some whispers, but I think it doesn't make sense. He's only 28. He's got 4 years left, and his money is less than Holiday and Porzingis. I don't know why they trade him. He's still young enough, and he's amazing. Like, he's probably the best role player in the league. Why trade him? You can trade Holiday and Porzingis without much of a second thought. Why trade Derek White? I get you need to retool the roster. Don't trade all the good players. Then we get to Sam Hauser. Could be someone. He is going to be in a trade, I do. He's a good player. Good shooter. You gets him up. Solid defender. He's a good, solid player. He's on a really good cost-controlled contract. I have him in a trade, but I don't think they need to trade him. Peyton Pritchard, his agent needs to get fired, because why is he getting paid $7 million for the next 3 seasons? It is baffling. Next year, he's going to have a much bigger role, like especially if they trade Holiday and Porzingis, and especially without Tatum. Like, I think next season, my goal for the Celtics would be competitive, but it's much more about like, hey, let's let Peyton Pritchard get way more on-ball reps. Let's let Jaylen Brown get way more on-ball reps. So when Tatum does come back, maybe Peyton Pritchard by then's like an all-star, and you don't have to find another trade piece. So I don't think you should trade Pritchard under any circumstance. Baylor Shireman, another guy who's going to get more reps. Another reason I think Hauser could get traded is Shireman's kind of in that same mold. I promise it's not because he's just a white guy, but Xavier Tillman, whatever. Neemias Queta, cool. J.D. Davidson, cool. Jordan Walsh, another guy who could get some minutes. I've kind of liked what he's shown, but I don't know. Jordan Walsh he's an interesting player. As you can see there, $20 million over the second apron. It's going to be very hard to get under that with one trade. I think with two trades, they could realistically get under it. I think that's going to be their goal, is to get under that second apron, take on whatever they have to take on to get off these contracts, and retool the roster. So going my big team needs, first one is salary cap relief, and it's honestly the only real need is to just get salary cap relief. They got to get under that second apron. They are should not be a second apron team, and there's no reason for them to try and be uber competitive next season, because without Tatum, you're not winning the title. So I think it's simple. Just let's try to get under that second apron. Again, in one trade, probably not going to be able to get under that with Holiday and Porzingis, so it's got to be both. But if you do both, you can easily get $20 million off in salary. Now, you're probably not going to get much back, and you're probably going to have to attach assets, but that's just kind of the rub of it. It's not the good part. It's not easy to you can't just dump salary. They got to get off money. And I do have bad news for some Celtics fans. I've seen some people be like, trade Drew Holiday, get off $20 million, and get a first-round pick. It's not happening. It's either you trade Drew Holiday for matching money that's just whatever contracts, or you do get off money and it's going to cost you assets. And then Porzingis is an even bigger example where it's, hey, we'll trade Porzingis for stuff, but it's going to be, I just got bad news. It's not going to be easy to get off these contracts. So it's probably going to cost assets to trade them. I've seen some people then reply like, well, why even trade him? Dude, it's going to cost $500 million to pay this team. And hey, $500 million is whatever if you're going to win a title. If it's, hey, we're not even trying to win a title, it makes sense. Second one, find real center help. Now, Al Horford's a very interesting person because he's 40 years old. He took a step back, and I'm sure he would like to come back. Like, I don't think he's like, this team isn't going to be competitive. And I think they'll probably bring him back. Like, I don't see why not. But he's clearly not a starting center at this point. He's not someone who you want playing 35-plus minutes. Not even that he can't do it. It's just irresponsible for a guy his age. He's like 40 years old. So they got to find a long-term answer at the center position, or at least someone to play for the next couple years while... Because Porzingis is clearly not it. And I just don't think Al Horford can be relied upon. And then the third one is just retool the roster for the 26-27 season rather than this next season. I don't think it makes sense for them to try and get just this year. It's got to be looking, hey, 2 years down the road, what do we do? Now, retool, I think this also goes into, again, development. Baylor Shireman, Peyton Pritchard, and Jordan Walsh, your three kind of young guys getting more minutes. Again, it's kind of a situation where you might say, let's lose an extra 5 games to give Jordan Walsh 20-plus minutes this season. So then when Tatum does come back, it's, okay, well, we lost Holiday, we lost Porzingis, but Jordan Walsh is really good. And Peyton Pritchard's like an all-star. That's got to be, in my opinion, the number one thing they do next season. Because you're kind of playing with house money. You've won a title. Like, you won a title. You don't have to worry about, oh, we wasted Tatum and Brown. Like, no, you won a title. You did what you had to do. So now I think it's, how do we get this roster and the guys on the team to where they need to be so when Tatum is back and is fully healthy, we're ready to go. That's the big needs for me. Other stuff just with this roster. Jaylen Brown. I've seen some stuff about him getting traded. I think it's possible. It would have to be Jaylen Brown asking out, and now it's like, well, he gets to be a number one option. I like Jaylen Brown. He's a good player. I think he's like a top 25-ish guy. I think when he's got the perfect team around him, he's really good. But he's got some flaws. And I think his contract is not good at all. I think with this new CBA, and I saw someone tweet about this, it might have been Zach Lowe. I'm trying to think where I saw someone talk about this, but are we going to start seeing teams be a little bit more stringent with contracts with these kind of borderline top 15 guys? Right? Because, I mean, they just chucked $50 million at Jaylen Brown without a hesitation. And it's tough, honestly. But I don't understand trading him. His value is at a valley right now. And if you trade him, it's like you kind of rebuild. And like, what team is trading for this contract? If it's like, hey, we'll just trade you some stuff and like a pick or two, it's just not worth doing. I just don't think you trade Jaylen Brown. Doesn't make sense at all for me. And in terms of their competitiveness next season, like they're gonna be like the 5 seed. Guys, look at the Eastern Conference, especially Giannis probably won't get traded. Like, look at the East. Look at the East. Outside of like, okay, the Cavs might be changing their roster. I think the Cavs, Knicks, and Pacers are all gonna be really good. Outside of that, I mean, it's like the Pistons and the Heat, maybe if they trade for KD. Celtics are right there. So that's going to do it for the roster breakdown and team needs. And let's just get right into the fun part of the video, the trades. Here we are, into the first trade. And the first one I got here is a Jrue Holiday salary dump. Yeah, this one's a little tough for the Celtics, I'm going to be honest. There's a lot of different teams that Jrue could be traded to. The Mavericks, I know, have touched base on it. And if you want to go see a Jrue trade, go check out the Mavericks video. I did the Clippers, just a different team. So the Celtics in this trade are going to get Bogdanovich and the 37th overall pick for Jrue Holiday, and the Pistons are going to get Derrick Jones Jr. Yeah, not a good one for the Celtics. I'm going to be honest. This is pretty much like, hey, we're getting off $16 million. Bogey is like a decent player, and then we get a second-round pick. I don't think this... I think for the Clippers, they're old as hell. They're all in on this window. Like, why not get Jrue? I mean, let me think of that starting lineup. It'd be Harden, Jrue, Norm Powell, Kawhi, Zubac. I mean, I like that lineup. Pistons just get Derrick Jones Jr. because they want him. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is the type of trade I would expect for Jrue Holiday, where the Celtics are trying to just get off money, and they don't get back much in return at all. He's clearly declining. He's going to be 35 when the season starts. He's owed $100 million over the next 3 seasons. That's not good. He's still probably like a top 50 player this season, but by the end of that contract, he might just be super washed. So there's very few teams that I think are in like this desperation mode to actually trade for a guy like Jrue. I think the Clippers are one of those teams. But again, I just don't see a big return for Jrue. They get a pick here because they are getting back only Bogdanovich, but if they, like, I've seen some trades where they get, you know, PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. If it's that, they're trading at least a first-round pick back in that type of deal. Any deal where they're getting back good assets it's costing them picks. And I don't know if they're going to want to trade draft picks to just get off of Jrue. So I think a trade would look like this, where you're saying we're kind of punting on next season. We're getting... Now, this would not get them under the second apron, but with a KP trade, they would. Where we're getting under the second apron, we're getting some flexibility. Maybe we get you know, an interesting player or two, and we move on. Next trade here is the KP trade. This one was nasty. Celtics got Isaiah Stewart again, someone who is a solid big man, can play, under contract for the next 3 seasons, is young, kind of fits that mold of, hey, let's get a guy who can kind of shoot, kind of in that Al Horford role. Pistons are going to get KP and a couple second-round picks. Nets are going to get Simone Fontecchio and some seconds to make the salary cap. For the Pistons, I've seen some stuff with Jalen Duren, them wanting to trade Duren. I don't really know why. I really like Jalen Duren. But if they wanted to take a swing on getting some 5-out spacing with Cade, and they were super reliant on Duren because Isaiah Stewart got hurt. And they say, you know what? You know, we have this runway with Cade. We're not really in a rush. We can still compete. If KB doesn't work out, he's an expiring, and we get some second-round picks to help us out. The Celtics, again, I think KP's worse than Drew. Because, like, with Drew, he's still good this year. He's still going to be pretty good this year, and probably next year. And he'll probably be pretty good for the entirety of his contract. It's just his contract's really bad. KP is like, this dude might be done. Like, he might just be done in the NBA. So the Pistons have to take on some seconds to do this. Again, if you're the Celtics, you're trading KP and 3 second-round picks for Isaiah Stewart. Like, that's the trade. But, again, if you could do these 2 trades in tandem where, okay, we get Bogey and Isaiah Stewart for Drew and KP, and we get off $30 million in salary. Like, that gets you way under the second apron. And now we have some flexibility. Now we can go sign someone if we need to. But I mean, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't know what to tell Celtics fans. I mean, maybe Drew has more value than I think. Like, maybe they can trade Drew and they get back a couple seconds or something. But KP, I'm getting shivers down my spine just thinking about it. In terms of other teams that could be interested in Porzingis, like the Lakers, probably maybe have some interest, but I doubt they do that with Luka. Trying to think, like, what, like the Nets. I tried doing a Nets trade, but it didn't really make sense. He's just so unreliable. I think it would have to be a team like the Pistons that already have a center that also has a bunch of salary and a bunch of space and is kind of like, we want to win, but we don't need to win right now. To where, like, we just want to take the swing on Porzingis, kind of like the Celtics did, where they're not like relying on KP. Like the Lakers are like be like uber reliant on KP being good for it to work out. Whereas with the Pistons, it's like, hey, if KP doesn't work out, who cares? And then the Nets get stuff, right? I don't know, but yeah, the KP trade, not a great one, obviously, but it's kind of where we are. Next one up is where we start getting into actual trades. We got Goga Bitadze. I had him in the Lakers slide. I really like Goga. He's pretty young, only 25 years old, on a really good cost-controlled contract. And he's proven to be pretty effective. A high-impact rim protector, great rebounder, and does show some short-roll passing upside. The trade I have here is a Sam Hauser trade. I think the Magic would do this, right? They already have Mo Wagner, Wendell Carter. They have a bunch of centers. They need shooting. Sam Hauser's a great shooter. And then the Nets get Gary Harris and some seconds. Would the Celtics do this? Would they trade Sam Hauser for Goga? I don't know. And he's also got 2 years left on his deal, so you know, he'd be available for that 26-27 season. Again, is he someone who you want as your only option? No, but again, if they bring back Horford, like, this makes a ton of sense to me. Like, Goga can give you 25 minutes, Horford can give you the rest, and he's young, he can play a bunch of games. He's obviously not a shooter, and I do wonder if they kind of say this version of the team, because we're going to have to trade Drew, and we're going to have to kind of shift our team a little bit to maybe a bit more of a traditional 4-out 1-in type team. There's just not a lot of shooting centers on the market, I'm going to be honest. This one makes sense to me, though, for Goga. He would give them what they need in terms of just, like, someone who's just solid and can play, can give you 25 minutes, rim protection, rim running. Now, my one thing would this be... why trade for a guy this year? That's the one question is, you know you're not good next year. Why are you trading for... why are you trading for Goga? But my thing with it is he's young, and you can just extend him if you want to. Play out next season, and then you can extend him. Second year's probably a player option. I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, I think this would be a great move for them. And then the final guy I got here is Clint Capella. This would be a... we don't care about next season. We don't care about next season. Let's bring in a guy in Clint Capella who's fine. You know, I saw some advanced numbers on B-Ball Index that, you know, he's still a pretty good rim protector. Still a great rebounder to this day. Strengths have lots of pick and roll experience. But I like Clint. I think as someone who's your backup, cannot start for any team that really wants to be serious. But let's say you bring back Horford, you bring in Clint on a vet minimum, and, you know, give you 20 minutes of solid play. I wouldn't dislike that. But yeah, I mean, Clint is whatever if you needed a big. But yeah, that's the trades I got. There's a lot of other Drew trades and KP trades. We didn't do more than just one. They're all going to look like this. They're all going to look like the Celtics getting back not good value to get off like $16-ish million. There's other teams I could have put, but they're all going to be the same for the Celtics point of view. And for these other teams, like, I don't even know if the Pistons want Kristaps. I'm kind of just guessing here. But that's my takeaway for the Celtics is I just don't see a world where you're getting back good value for these guys. Drew is declining. He's incredibly expensive, and he's locked up long term. Right? I mean... it's just, I don't know. I really don't know what you do with that, but I think they're willing to just eat next season and just say, we don't care. Like, let's get cheaper, whatever it takes to get rid of Kristaps and Drew. When Tatum gets back, hopefully some of these younger guys have developed and we're in good shape. So that's going to do it for this video. Gonna do post-game reaction tonight to the Game 3 of the Finals. Just praying for a competitive game. That's all I want. And then on Thursday, which is tomorrow, don't know what I'm going to do. I might do a Mavs video. Might record another offseason preview. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. If you guys like this video, please drop me a like. Please subscribe. I know it's corny. And then comment. Just trying to build a channel, build an audience. So if you like these videos, try to watch another one. Even if this is your favorite team is the Celtics, you don't care. Just tune in to the other videos. I promise you'll like them. So that'll do it. And see you guys next time.